And today I'm here with Dave Asheim, and he is going to be our speaker for our next chapter meeting. And he's going to be talking about mobile technology and mobile learning. Hi, Dave.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. So, Dave, I'm just going to start off with a little bit about mobile learning and mobile technology. And we hear a lot about it, but how many companies are really doing it now?
You know, I think this whole question about who's using mobile will be answered in the next 2 or 3 years when you realize that all of us are using mobile. So companies say to me, and they say, I don't think I'm ready for mobile. And I'll say, well, are your employees checking their email on their phone? Are they looking at links that you send them about courses and training on their phone? Chances are they're probably already doing quite a bit of work on their phone. So this dichotomy of, or this difference between mobile and desktop, I think is moving away. How many people are getting an email about a training course and maybe looking at material on their phone because they don't have time to do it on their desktop? So I think that over time you'll see that companies are looking at the phone as a wonderful way to continue engaging with their audience. In terms of strict mobile learning, I think it's probably low, like you say. It's probably 10%, 15%. But I bet there are probably, when I speak around the country at ATD conferences, I just spoke at the upstate South Carolina one, and I think probably 50% of the people in the room want to do something this year. So it's definitely ripe, but people just don't know what that really means. How do I use mobile for training?
Exactly. What are some of the challenges that people are facing implementing this mobile technology?
I think the number one challenge is somebody up the chain is just nervous about what mobile means. And if they realize that most people are looking at email, they're doing a lot of their work on their mobile phone, they don't need to be scared about this. They just have to find ways that mobile can really be an engaging tool. So I think the number one blocker is someone up the chain. The CLO, the VP of training, maybe the CEO is a little nervous. I think another challenge is, how do we deal with folks that are hourly employees? We don't want them on their phone when they're working in the store or their factory. So what are the kind of the guidelines for that? And we'll talk about that during this session when I come to the chapter.
Excellent, excellent. And it sounds like if people would think of it as just more of an extension and not like this whole new technology, it might be easier for them to try and implement it.
I think that's right. When we got into this about 6 years ago, we were all excited that e-learning was going to turn into m-learning. Turns out that that's not the case. Classroom learning is here to stay. E-learning is here to stay. Eventually, m-learning might make some inroads into e-learning. Well, what we're really seeing the power of mobile to do is to remind and alert and engage little 5-minute exercises, nothing that's going to replace logging into the LMS. So I think it's little bite-sized exercises, things that we will do on our phones or on our computers, and coupled with stitching these over time, I think you'll find out that this can make an impact in improving performance.
So it sounds like one of the biggest benefits, like you say, is just kind of providing an extension to the training department for the employees. What are some of the other benefits that you're seeing?
You know, I think people are using mobile for two main things. One, they're going to store content, either my training manual or all my PDFs or all of my price guides, my PowerPoints, my photos. I'm going to store that so I can access it anytime I want, or I'm going to use it to engage. Here's an interesting link to a video. Here's a TED Talk. Here's our new pricing. Here's our new suggested guide. Take a quiz, take a poll, do something that's very social, something that I normally would do when I'm behaving and interacting with my friends on my phone. And if a company weaves this in, they will find great acceptance. So it's little bite-sized interactions or accessing content.
So right now, especially I'm hearing from you with the mobile, and with mobile, I'm thinking more phone type of activity, that we're not really looking at somebody having to go in and totally retrofit their training materials to fit the mobile platform. it's again more of doing it as an addition to that already built-in e-learning that they might be doing right now.
Yeah, that's right. And I think the idea that I'm going to get my employees to log into the LMS and take mobile learning just on their phone, it's just not going to happen. We probably have 2 million interactions a month from our clients. And so we have a very good sense for how long people will be on their phone and what they'll do. And that's not what they're going to do. What they will do is they will get an email or a text with the link, a little bit.ly. They will go to a page when they have some time. They're having lunch, they're commuting, they're at their kid's soccer game, kind of just in time, just for me. They'll access that content. They will take an exercise. They'll watch a video. They'll do something. And then they will repeat that the next day and the next day and the next day. And coupled over a long period of time, that will combine into something that has been very, very helpful and really fits kind of the new mode of training. But the old way of, or this thought of maybe I'm going to take e-learning and turn it into something that I'm going to get people to do for 45 minutes on their phone is just not the case.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, I noticed when I was looking at your website, another big benefit seems to be for using it for onboarding. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that has turned out to be a really popular item. We have quite a few different clients that are using it for onboarding. And what they're doing is they're using it for pre-boarding and onboarding. They're finding out that before I come to work, I want to engage with those folks. So I'm going to load all my content, my manuals, where to park, how to dress, what to expect, all of that on a mobile web platform. I'm going to email that link out to my new employees and say, look at this on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. It doesn't really matter. And when you come into work, then you're signed up for our maybe 60-day or 90-day onboarding. And every 3 or 4 days, you're going to get a text or an email with a link to a little exercise. Maybe it's take a selfie. Maybe it's go on a little scavenger hunt. Maybe it's read this material, watch a couple of videos about the company. And it really makes them feel like they're having this personalized experience that's not handing them the big fat 3-ring binder saying, here's everything you need to know about our company. I think we have to keep in mind that the way people are learning today is very different than it was 15, 20 years ago. People are not as used to sitting in a classroom or doing a 2-hour exercise or reading a big 3-ring binder, but they will learn it. It just has to be spoon-fed to them. And if I can do it on my phone, my tablet, or my computer when I have a few minutes, I'll do it.
Excellent. I love the idea of the scavenger hunt. I saw that on your website.
That's
Now,
right.
do you see a difference in the companies that are using this? Is it a cultural type difference between companies from a standpoint of one that may have a lot of millennials or have employees that are kind of used to using this type of technology? Or do you see it just across any company?
We see it across any company, but if your workforce is always sitting at their computer, it's a call center, and nobody is remote, it's probably less important to you. But if you run a factory, the people in the factory probably don't even have a corporate email. Wouldn't it be great that they can opt in to get information about the company or about training on their own device if they wish to do that? So except for those instances where the workforce is at their desk, we're seeing it across the board. I think the number one enabler is some champion. Oftentimes it's an ATD person because they're very up on all of these new techniques that become the champion, and they are the ones that really guide this. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's really, like you said at the very beginning, I think it's pretty much inevitable. I think it's just a matter of how much companies want to embrace this technology.
Yeah, I think that's right. And picking the spots where it makes sense. I think companies think, oh, mobile learning, I am never going to get all my e-learning courses, all my Captivate, all my LMS on a mobile phone, and I don't even think anybody would do it on a mobile phone. And the truth is, that's right. But if you repackage it into little bite-sized chunks, we found 3 to 4 minutes is the right. You will be amazed at how many people, from manufacturing people to people that work in retail or in restaurants, will be willing to do this on their phone.
Yeah, that sounds like a great fit. Now, Dave,
Yeah.
what do you want the ATD members to come away with from the chapter meeting?
I think what we're going to try to, we're going to be, it's going to be very interactive. So we're going to send and receive probably 10 to 20 different text messages. We'll probably do some scavenger hunts, and we will evaluate what is out there in the marketplace. Some of it will not be appropriate at all for some of the folks in the room, but that's great. So this will be kind of a demo of what are all the tools that people are using for mobile, and then we can do pros and cons on in what situations would this be appropriate.
That sounds like a fascinating chapter meeting. I'm really looking forward to it, and I really appreciate you taking a few minutes today and kind of giving us an overview of what we have to look forward to.
Oh, my pleasure. It'll be fun to do this very interactive session. So I encourage all of the members to come and bring your phone and make sure it's charged.
All right. Thank you very much, Dave.
All right. Thanks so much. Bye.